Hey everybody, Chris Munson here. My wife and I, when we were going to Walmart to pick up a few things, she saw something that she thought, hey, you want this for your videos? I'm not a big fan of tabloids and other such of that crap, because generally speaking, it's just that, crap. And I don't like paying for crap. But, in this case, I was like, you know what, why not? Maybe this is something I can try with you guys. So this is what we got. I have not opened it yet. I haven't looked at it yet. So, what you see is what I get not already see, but I'm going to see. So here you go. Look at that crap. Why is it that it's becoming such a big issue? Have you noticed that? Is it because enough people out there question this stuff that they start to talk about it? Start to bring up individuals, people that they're connected to, like the Clintons. You know, like, that's just what boggles my mind sometimes. Why do people look at this and they're like, now it's being talked about? There's a reason for everything. You don't see them talking about the Clintons all the time. Oh, they're crap. You hear them talk a little bit about a few things here or there, but they don't go into the full big picture. But this Epstein thing, they really want to get into Epstein. My thoughts, because he's dead. They killed him. Problem solved, right? So now it's just after the fact. Now they just have to go into that. So while everyone else likes to say, oh, well, there's a problem with sex trafficking, but it's over now because he's dead, right? Oh, man, the rest of this is just crap. I mean, it was just that one front thing with fucking Epstein, and everything else is just sex, drugs, and alcohol. Look at all these idols, these movie stars. Fucking tabloids. Wow. Oh, machete monsters, rampage left, 4 dead. Oh, hooray for police states. Crap. This is why I don't fucking read tabloids. They're crap. But the point that I wanted to bring up with that, why would they want to bring this up to our attention? Why would they bring these kinds of things up? Why would they only go a little bit into depth on the detail? And then once they do go into detail, why do they really go into detail on him? They don't fully go into detail, but they go enough so that it awakens people's minds to a problem. And then they even talk about a few of those problems. Not all of them. For example, I've noticed that they've been trying to bury the connections with Trump. And they've been trying to put to rise that with the Clintons. Especially with Mel Clinton. I almost wonder if they realize that the old guard are old and dying. So they're just going to get rid of them, bring in some new blood. And keep some of the old guard that they're able to kind of tote around like little meat puppets, like Trump. I think that's the main reason why, to be honest. I also think that's ultimately why they're doing what they're doing. They're trying to give the public mind a reason to have an overbearing police state. Well, we got to do it for the children, right? That is something to do it for. But it's a police state. All you're doing is putting in a system that now can be taken over by other people. That can be micromanaged to the point where everyone in these little groups have no idea what the bigger picture is. Until you start adding it all together and you realize the big picture is just one giant horror machine. Speaking of ICE, I've been seeing some articles about them. For example, how they're allowed to put immigrants into detention centers indefinitely. The validity of that I do not know, but it does make sense. there are criminals that are outside of this nation that get into this nation, and they use that identity politics to keep themselves safe. That is true. Now, that boogeyman that people are united for, on one side and somewhat on the other, they're now going to use to have camps. Because the prisons are already full. They already have to make camps for these people. Do you not remember what happened in Nazi Germany? Don't get me wrong, there was a lot of fabrications in that area too, from at least what my grandfather explained, especially when it comes to the Jews. Yes, there were ones for the Jewish individuals, but they're mostly political dissidents, and when it came to a lot of the work camps, they were actually like socialist camps, like you got fed, you had a place to stay, you got something to keep you busy and occupied. It was the SS, mostly, that had the slaves, like the legitimate slaves. And when it came to the bombing of these camps, which is where a lot of a lot of these fire chambers and these gas chambers came from, to explain all the death, was ultimately because the United States, we destroyed a lot of the work camps, the factories that they were working in, as well as the railroads that would send the food to them. So when they already got blockades at their ports because of the British, and now they're already having to deal with firebombing campaigns from the United States, where's all that food going to go? At that rate, it's either you put it to the war front, or you put it to the camps. One's going to suffer, while the other doesn't. And those people that are fighting that war are the children of the former generation that nearly starved to death because of all those terrible sanctions that happened upon Germany. You see how that works? One raised itself through horror, enough so that they're able to put horror upon others, while evil in general is just running rampant all around. This is like in Star Wars. The Separatists, during the Clone Wars, the Separatists were run by the Sith, who were intermixed with or from the Jedi on the good side. So the good side was not really entirely good. The good side was just these one guys that had a lot of decent human beings who did want to see goodness in the world and were willing to do bad things to make the goodness come about, which ultimately just made everything bad altogether. That's why that's then. And then the rebellion and the Galactic Empire and all that other crap is now. You're in the Galactic Empire. You're in the Empire. You just need to drop the galactic part. It matters not about the space or the imagery you see. It was the terminology used. It was the history used. It was the fact that the separatists, they separated from a former coalition of union, which is essentially what we had before under the Roman Empire, which ruled itself through the bloodlines of Europe and other areas of the world. Then the separatists come up, i.e. the Nazis, that were manufactured like the droids, and then, like the droids, purposely deconstructed and made everyone to hate them, so that they had a boogeyman. And then that clone army becomes the Empire, and Order 66 to kill the rest of the Jedi, so to get rid of the actual decent human beings amongst them, and to only give their minds and their hearts to the state. That's why we're here. That's what happened. That's what World War I and World War II was about. The clone army was us. The United States. The British. In general, the people that fought it and died. So again, crap with Epstein, you have to think outside the box here. Why are they showing Epstein? What purpose do they have with that, other than to give people another reason to believe in an imperialistic, evil, maniacal state? That's my thought on the situation. Beware of ice. 33rd degrees. God bless. Good luck to you all. And Stay frosty.